Hello everybody. As you probably know, I recently pulled out from the sale my Hitachi 980M. I found another issue with mechanical part. It appears that it has an additional idler which sits under the gears, so it was a bit surprise for me. But the only thing when I found the tape stops during playback from time to time, and it was not obvious from the first attempt. So while it's waiting for idle tire, today I will be doing a maintenance service for this beautiful Akai A&D 9100 EV. That was the Evolution model, the last one, and I bet it would be new sheriff in the town in my collection with this deck, because I've been researching hard over the schematics, and I believe that this deck can sound on pair with my Sony or even better. So I did a preliminary test for this guy. It looks like it has any electrical issues. The only issues with the tape speed stability, so I need to lubricate tape transport properly to make sure that it will work smoothly and up to the specs. So far, while I will be disassembling it, you may see how to disassemble that decks. So all decks are with cheeks or like wooden panels. In this case, it's a plastic panel. You need to remove them first, just to make sure that they would not be scratched during any repair service. I will pull it away. Looking into the pictures, I saw that these plastic panels looks not so nice as the wooden panels which I had before in the first generation of 9100 deck. But in reality, when I look at them, they look much nicer than I thought. So, as you know, this deck has a separate compartments for the digital part, like tape transfer control, indicator, and underneath it has a fully separate and isolated compartment which is plated with copper to eliminate any noises. And that's why we had to pull up top cover to get to the tape transport. I believe you would need to also remove the front panel from this deck to make sure that we would be able to pull up tape transport and properly reassemble it and lubricate. So here I just remove it with plastic panels. Next step is to pull up these two screws from the top, which has a hexagonal screw. So I just replaced my screwdriver by with hexagonal. Okay, so these all 10 pieces from the top and sides, and the last piece, I believe it sits on the back. You see these nice plated screws. I hope this would be everything to have this deck disassembled and to remove this cover. Let me move it a little bit closer. Okay. So here you may see it's a digital part. So this is microcontroller which controls tape transport and all indicators on the front panel. So, and this is connected to this board. This chip specifically controls reel motor. So I have seen videos and read articles that in some decks this may be the root cause of malfunction. And here is a power transformer. Let me move a little bit. So power transformer, power supply, and tape transport here. Let's move on. Let's remove the front cover and continue disassemble. To remove front cover, in many decks you have to remove the well cover. So you have to use a power supply. In this case it's 100 volt for Japanese decks. Power it on, open the cover and gently remove the cover. So you see this is the cover and this is a specific vibration absorbing cassette stabilizer. So when well closes, the stabilizer pushes cassette back to the back wall to make sure that it will work properly. See? So it pushes at the end. Good thing is this deck tape transport itself is not fully dried up, so pinch rollers goes up and down pretty well. So let's go from here. Now we have to remove power because we don't need it anymore for now. To remove front panel we need to unscrew 3 screws on the top and usually it's another 3 on the bottom. As you know, this evolution model, or probably you don't know, was significantly improved from audio part. So it's basically the same from mechanical part and controls, but significantly improved in the audio pass. So let's see. Yeah, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws from the bottom. And you see the bottom is copper plated. I believe I will need to clean it up a little bit so it would look nicer. So front panel comes up like that. So next, let me see tape transports. So we have 2 screws from the top. And I believe there would be another 2 from the bottom. I can see it from here, so we would need to remove the bottom panel to get into the tape transport. To do that, we don't need to unscrew the screws fully, just to relax them a bit. And then we have just, I believe, 2 screws which are holding it tight, which we need to remove. It's one from the corner here and one in the middle. The rest of the screws should come up without fully unscrewing them. Okay, you can remove it like that. And here you may see the biggest difference between first generation deck and the second generation. So, couple things which has been significantly improved. It's a Dolby chip is now Sony versus Hitachi as it was before. Playback amplifier, main feature. So as you see here, playback heads connected using balanced input. This means that any distortions or like noise which can get like electromagnetic noise which can get to the wires will be eliminated due to balanced input. This is the same way as microphones on the concert is connected on the long wires. Also, as you see, there's separate adjustment for the normal and other type of tapes like 120 microseconds and 70 microseconds and levels here. And another feature, it has a fully bypass, so if you don't use in Dolby, sound directly from the playback amplifier goes to the output, missing the Dolby chip. This is the only deck where I have seen this solution implemented. In all other decks, Dolby chip still support like 70% of amplification, like 30% in the playback amp and 70% in the Dolby chip. And this schema is significantly different. And as you see, the record amplifier is significantly different from the first generation. It has like twice more parts, and you may see that there is no electrolytic capacitors in the playback on the record amplifier. That's the main reason I purchased this deck, because it should not produce any distortion due to capacitors. So I've heard the first generation, I pretty much like it. There's a couple reasons I sell it. It didn't have enough bass because I don't use any adjustment. I'm listening in the direct mode. And there was a couple other minor things which I don't really like, but bass was probably the most important. With this deck, I'm already heard it looks like bass in place, so we'll see how it will perform on the rest. Okay, let me take a look how I will disassemble tape transport, and I will get back to you soon.